In the upper right, folks, in the blue for Storm Gaming, Juanito, it's special.
And his opponent, spawning down in the bottom left for Team NV, it is DRG. And there is something very neat that has kind of occurred in this event, in this, you know, whole situation, which is that we have SpeCial saying to Artosis. So Artosis on his stream a little bit, he's like, man, like the first 2, 3, 4 minutes of TVZ, they're all rinse and repeat. He didn't say that exactly, but that was the sentiment of what he was saying. But SpeCial has bucked that concept and has said, no, I'm gonna open up double gas and I'm gonna make this TVZ a TVT. And he's done that in, well, both the games he did versus SpeCial, and he's doing it again now versus DRG. This is such a unique approach, and it's really neat.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here, too, is you talk about this as if this is, you know, something SpeCial is doing. And, of course, this is certainly something that SpeCial has been doing for a long time in terms of, well, yeah, you know, I opened double barracks in the wall, and it's Reapers or something, and there's a fun build after that. But this is a build that certainly, or this idea is something that has certainly really started to take popularity. Back in Atlanta, when we saw Maru doing not the same one, but a similar one, double barracks in the wall, get Reapers, build two more barracks. It's kind of funny, actually, we haven't seen that build in Valencia at all. But it's kind of cool, right? We see SpeCial's been doing this for years, and it's finally started to be something that we see that is not just the Mexican Terran.
Well, I mean, as far as the actual builds are concerned, the 2 racks Reaper, the 2 racks like 3 Reaper opening is a much more, I think, within, you know, a standard deviation in terms of the weirdness. This, though, this is like completely out there. This is literally like something that, you know, Up a Tree Zelda will do on his stream when he forgets that he's not playing against a Zerg and he's actually playing against a Terran. He forgets that he's not playing against a Terran and he's actually playing against a Zerg. You know, it's out there. It is a weird setup. Going for the 3 Reapers. Now, it actually got some good work done versus SpeCial, but part of that was because, you know, it hadn't been seen. SpeCial wasn't expecting it. Now, in this game, DRG obviously saw the VODs. He is looking for this, and we got SpeCial. He's going for the same thing he did in the previous game. It's a proxy starport, and I think this is going to be proxy BCs again.
Okay, so if this is not 3 BC, or 3-4 BC out of this, I don't even want it steadfast. Like,
I don't even want it.
No, 1 BC is boring. It's a blase. Who cares? It's not 3-port, you know. That being said, for right now, though, we don't see that fusion core going down immediately. It's going to be a Liberator instead. And while you still can go battle cruisers after this, and I don't remember whether SpeCial went for that or not, certainly getting the Liberator here does open up some interesting ideas that don't have to wait for that massive build time of battle cruiser to start finding value.
No, he did go for the Liberator on Neo-Humanity. Neo-Humanity. And he actually got some decent work done with it. Like, I think he killed a couple drones. He denied mining time. He got some good work done for sure. And you know what? It is entirely like I said that for sure DRG has checked the VODs, but maybe he didn't have that much time. You know, maybe he was focused a little bit more. I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure he probably looked for it. Oh, just barely getting the depot raise there in time. Meanwhile, a couple of drones are going to fall. Yeah, it's the Liberator in the main base that is the culprit. Getting 4 drones, nothing really happening at the front, but a little bit of a distraction and a fair bit of lost mining time. Not bad on this Liberator. And if you consistently micro it, which we know that Juanito is capable of doing, it can be really strong. Now, here's the problem. Yeah, DRG, he knows it was too fast.
Yeah, that's not really super optimal there. So, yeah, certainly. You have this situation where SpeCial gets a Liberator out. You know, did he actually get the Raven out, or did that get canceled?
No, not even really that close, to be honest. It was pretty far away from finishing.
So now this is a SpeCial that, yeah, he's the Liberator on the map. He got some damage done as the Hellions are going to try to dive in, but there really is not a lot to kill on the mineral line anyways. And now what is he going to do? Okay, we saw his build get blown up against SpeCial. He did have to rebuild, and he still got damage done. That's not what's happening here, though. And he is going to go mech behind this. What type of mech is it going to be?
I am not too sure, but I for a second I was like, oh man, this is really cool. He waited for the Overlord to get out of vision before he started the factories. He did not. So it's now 2 factory. Special's actually floating a little bit of money. I wonder if the lift on the, yeah, no, definitely the lift on the starport has kind of thrown off his setup. I think, oh, he does get a couple more drones in the main base with the Liberator. Meanwhile, Hellions and Reapers trying to find some openings at the front. Some great grenades here to separate off one of the Queens. And he will get the kill there just before the transfuse can come down from DRG. So overall, good stuff. But hang on, wait, how did that Ling get behind the wall? It put in a lot of damage on that. How long was that there? That must have been there a while. Behind this, though, DRG, he knows it's mech. Now we get to see a mech player from... Man, Special's floating a lot of money. And he's supply blocked. Oh, boy. His macro is not doing fantastic right here.
Oh, and he builds a couple more supply. Even after dropping the depot top hat, he's still supply blocked. It's a little rough. But this is interesting, of course. We asked ourselves, what type of mech is this going to be? Is this going to be what you're calling heavy mech? Is this going to be battle mech? Well, for now, it's going to be battle mech. 2 Cyclones are on the way. We see Magfield. We see Infernal Pre-Igniters. We see Blue Flame. And that has proven to be a strong style. We saw Hero Marine just 2-0 Lambo with it. But those were games where Hero Marine was at least even, if not ahead, out of the early game. And
yeah,
that's not what this situation is.
No, it certainly isn't. We did see another Liberator squeeze out of this proxy starport. So, I mean, you know, Special, he's doing a lot of things. He's all over the map, and he's paying attention in multiple locations. Lings, by the way, are hunting for this starport, and will they find it? Oh, man, there's just a tiny bit of vision where it's not. And this is annoying. This is annoying when you're constantly having to do stuff like this, hunt around 4 buildings. Oh, is he going to get back before these Hellions? Yeah, he'll be able to get back in time, and the Roaches will cover this little entrance, so good defense. Oh my god, and he's this is the little starport that could.
Hyperflight Rotor Banshees.
Oh my goodness. I would love that. That would make me so happy.
I'm joking, but I'm actually rather serious. That does strike me as the type of thing Special's gonna do.
Oh yeah, it totally could. And he loves microing lots of units at once. That's why he likes this mech, well, this battle mech style. Hold that thought. We are gonna see a lot of Hellions moving in here. There will be a Ling counterattack on the 3rd base. At random Hellbat morph, that had to have been a misclick. But there is not a lot of defenses here. With the couple of Blue Flame Hellions, actually, hang on. He hold positions. Nah, he's going to be fine. The SCVs, he does respond in time and they get back into the fight. But it forces the Battle Mech Squadron back home. And that gives a little bit more time for DRG. He's now got his 2nd Evo chamber researching the attack upgrades. Okay, for a second I thought, I was like, did he kill his base? I saw drones long distance mining. It was like, did I miss something? No, they just were, you know, derping about. But we got Tunneling Claw Roaches and Infestors. That is going to be a good answer to Battle Mech.
Yeah, you have 2 options, right? When you're talking about what spell, because the Zerg does need spellcasters to deal with this, at least to time it out.
Ooh.
And you have 2 options, right? Oh, was Cloak canceled? Or did Cloak...
No, he just hasn't started it yet.
You know,
it might just be like an insurance
Cloak was on the way.
banshee.
Cloak was canceled here. Cloak was 50% of the way done before we went over and took a look. So, and he's going Ravens behind us instead. That is... Special doesn't really seem to know what he wants to do. But yeah, Steadfast, we're talking about spellcasters. You have 2 options. You have Vipers, you have Infestors. Both kind of allow you to deal with the battle mech. And it seems like, again, that this is going to be DRG's option. Is a couple Roach hit squad into the 3rd base. He's going to be able to deny this 4th. At the very least, that's not bad to start here. And Special has still not been able to put... Oh, okay, he's not even going to deny the 4th. Okay, into the natural instead.
Oh, I much prefer this. Yeah. I would have loved to see like 6 Roaches, 3 into the main, 3 into the natural. But I'm good with this too. I'm good with just, you know, getting right up into the main base. Because at the front line, that's where your reinforcements are rallied to. You know, that's going to get dealt with instantly. But if a big fight I would have loved to have waited till there was a big fight. Or, you know, use this and then try and jump on the battle mech. Oh, preemptive scan comes down. But Special not necessarily paying attention right here. He does try and smash into the front, loses a few Lings. The Raven will be very handy against these burrowed Infestors. But there's no Neurals, so they really can't do anything aggressively. They're going to be much better defensively. Oh my god, that's 2 scans used on this Roach. And he didn't find it. Ay.
Nah, it's going to stay alive. And Steadfast, it's kind of interesting here. We see these Ravens come out. This is something that Maru has apparently been doing in his mech games, where he's not going mass Raven. He's getting 2. 1 or 2. And what this gives you, of course, is creep control. And it means you're not worried about burrowed units all that much if the Ravens are spaced properly. But also, it just means that Zerg...
Kill it.
Kill it, please. One more shot. There, finally. 3 scans, 750 mineral, or what's that? Like 600 minerals going down. But anyway, yeah, so you get the Ravens for the detection, right? For the ability to control creep. But the even more important thing is it means you kind of, every fight you have an anti-armor missile. It means the Zerg really struggles to fight. And yeah, Special was realizing, okay, he's on 3 bases. He's got his 4th base on the way. It's time for it's time for the ghosts, right? It's time to have...
that's... Oh, I'll hold that thought. We'll talk about it in a second. Oh, this does not look like a great fight here for DRG. Anti-armor missile is going to land on the army, really shoving that back. That's a nice defensive setup here from Special. And the thing about Mech, oh man, you said it before, this feels a little bit like Phoenix Charge Lot, where if you don't win the fight, you lose a lot on the chase. But what I wanted to point out, sorry about that barracks, didn't mean to cut you off, is the fact that he lost the barracks before he started up his 6th, 7th, and 8th factories. So now he's there we go. Now look at this.
Okay,
he could have started those a while ago, but that's actually going to really hamper his production here. Oh, we are going to see a fungal growth coming on in, but attacking up the ramp is not the wave. This is going to be a very expensive fight for the Zerg player.
And against Steadfast, we're just seeing what they're talking about. You get the 2 Ravens, and yeah, Map, I mean, he drops a scan when there are Ravens there, questionable. But they are strictly there for the anti-armor missile. And a Zerg that has a -2 armor when it is a Zerg that does not get Carapace upgrades anyways against Mech, we see what happens. You cannot take the fight. Hellbats are actually... Hellbats end up being good against Roaches before that 3-3 setup. It just does not feel good whatsoever. So DRG, he's back to the drawing board here. He's got a Greater Spire just about done. Adding in Vipers, that's going to be a great little bit of Ling run by. This position for Special in the middle of the map is terrifying. That being said, though, DRG, he takes the fight in the middle of the map here. Bailey's running into tanks. That's not really what you want. Even as the tanks do get cleared up, this is expensive.
It is very expensive, but Special left the tanks on their own, and that is a big no-no for a Mech army. Now, fortunately for Special, DRG did not get the final corrosive bile to take down that 5th tank, but getting the tank count as low as he did, he set the tank count to just 2. Special, with the loss of those SCVs, the loss of the mining time at the 3rd, he just took a huge hit to his economy and his production. And DRG, he is really cruising here. Something else, usually by this point in a Mech versus Zerg game, the Terran's already on 2-2. In this case, he's got 1-2, but his +2 attack is still a ways away from completing. That's a big power spike for those Mech units. I am feeling not too great about this for Special, but this army is all clumped up. We do see that anti-armor missile landing once again, and the Hellions they're gonna benefit a lot from it. But I think the lack of the +2 attack is really hurting him here. And DRG, he will get driven back. He's going to lose actually quite a few of these units to the Cyclones as Special transitions back into the Cyclones here. He's really cleaning this army up hard.
And Steadfast, remember, you're talking about this missing +2 attack. In this Mech composition is he wants to make extra sure that he knows what's happening on the right side. But you talk about this composition, actually +2 armor is by far the more important upgrade, specifically because this is such a spellcaster damage army. Yeah, attack upgrades for tanks and for Hellions are great, but let's be real. What's the important unit in this army right now for Special? It's the Cyclones. Cyclones, they don't benefit from attack upgrades at all. You just want to make sure they stay alive. And that did allow him to make sure he stayed alive. He was in a great spot. Bonus damage again for, well, the anti-armor missile just makes it a little easier. But now, does he have the tech to deal with these Broodlords that are coming out? If he gets lock-on, sure, but Broodlords are siege units, Steadfast. It's a lot harder to actually get on top of them.
Yeah, and they're a lot faster than they used to be. DRG, we don't think of him as a super spellcaster Zerg. We think of him as a, mid-game Zerg. And it's going to be up to him to get some good work done with this. The Ravens could actually interference matrix these 3 Vipers. That might be the play that Juanito is looking for, and that could be a high impact play. We're going to be keeping an eye on this. This is a scary looking push from DRG. There they are. They're the interference matrices. He gets them down on the Vipers, cancels and prevents the blinding clouds. Big lock-ons onto the Broodlords, but the tanks are not sieged up. Special just did not siege up his tanks at all. He said he didn't want to. and he's just gonna tap out. That was a very confusing engagement for me.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that, and it looked almost like a fight that SpeCial was winning. I guess
Almost.
at the very weird game.
Going into it, it looked like he was gonna crush that fight,
right? Especially with the anti-armor missile and everything. The Broodlords went ahead, and they weren't protected. Dude, Cyclones got big lock-ons. You have Hellbats there that deal with the Broodlings. The Baileys came crashing in, and that was a little more problematic, but it didn't feel that bad for SpeCial. I guess at the very end, we start supplies starting to mess around a little bit, but I don't know. That was weird.
That felt weird. That felt weird because I feel like if he literally even has like 3 siege tanks sieged up just a little bit further back in that fight, I think he massacres the ground army. And then he's probably got like 6 or 8 Cyclones left over. And he's going to be able to take down the Broodlords when there's no ground army left, you know? Like it's not a simple win necessarily, but it is a win that I think from that perspective it probably goes in the favor of SpeCial. I think he just miscontrolled the army, like, because the whole point of getting the interference matrices on those Vipers is so that there's no blinding clouds, so that there's no Viper abducts. Like that looked like it was a very survivable push. And if anything, that looked like it was setting up to be a great fight for SpeCial.
I mean, yeah, it really did. Again, lock-ons on the Broodlords, anti-armor missile on the army. You disable all the spellcasters. Yeah, it looked really good. And we also got to point out, by the way, DRG won that game. His infestor control left something to be desired. He got like 8 infestors or so, 6-8 infestors. They got 1 fungal off. They just all died. It was not the value unit that you're looking for. So I don't know, maybe he changes the way he chooses to approach this this style coming out of this. Regardless, folks, we do have our second game of this series. DRG is up 1 in a interesting way. Let's see now if he can make it 2. In the bottom right, folks, in the blue, down a game of this series, it's SpeCial.
And his opponent, spawning up at the top left for Team NV. Can he deal with what's coming? It is DRG. Yeah, that was... I mean, I know, like, there's a lot more to a game of StarCraft than how things look. But from the eye test, it really felt like that was swinging heavily in the favor of SpeCial. My brain is a little broken and fried from that. But fortunately, SpeCial is going to do us the service of saying, you know what, Steadfast, you sound a little tired, you sound a little tuckered out. Let me just go for a proxy 3 racks and just end this game one way or another very quickly. And DRG, he's looking around here. Ooh, if he continues on this path, he is going to see this. However, by the time he sees this, it'll already be hitting, and he actually changes direction on the Overlord. Oh. Okay, this is actually much better for him because he's going to angle now in the correct direction, and he might actually see the Marines beforehand. Actually, he's going to see the SCV super soon. Oh, this is very good. The only thing, if he doesn't realize it's a proxy 3, actually, never mind. He's going to see all 3 racks. SpeCial didn't hide the third. Wait, hang on. Does he?
He doesn't need to see the 3rd racks, right? The positioning of this tells you that it is a 3 racks. If it's a 2 rack, they're right next to each other, right? But because there is that gap and he sees that extra barracks behind, he's going to know. At least we assume he's going to know that this is that 3 racks. So DRG gives up the natural. He's building a queen on it, sure, but he's got a roach point in the main second gas as well. And he's going to play for the retake. Because, you know, this CSGO tournament happening on the other side. He's playing for the retake on the side here. He's not trying to go for the initial defense.
Yep, and against the proxy 3 racks, that is what you want to do. Against the 2 racks, you need to hold that expansion. Against the proxy 3 racks, you don't. You absolutely do not. And yeah, no, you are right. He looked at this and he figured it out. 3rd barracks actually got repositioned to the top side from SpeCial. Very interesting to do that. It kind of makes sense because it provides a bit of a sim city, but oh, now he's lifting one of the barracks to fly it home. Okay. Well, you know what? He's seen that there's no contest at the natural, so this actually makes a ton of sense to me. I think it's a pretty smart move. The one thing I'll say, okay, once you see these roaches, you've got to get out of the natural expansion pretty quickly. A lot of Terran players will make the mistake of sticking around too long. They lose too many Marines, and then they die to that counterattack.
Now, it's actually kind of interesting here, Steadfast. We've been talking about all the ramifications of the patch. We're seeing one right here. It takes so much longer for the Ravagers to morph, and actually great target fire there from SpeCial on the... Oh, yeah, he actually knocks it down. And on one base, Ravagers are very expensive. They take, 12, 14 seconds to build. Bunker gets salvaged, and now DRG runs to run across the map, but he already lost a Ravager. He is...
Ramp?
Oh, he's gonna get another roach here, and you can't save him like this anymore. Damage on the, even if these Marines go down, damage on the Ravager like this is so key. But what does SpeCial have at home? 2 Marines running pell-mell back at home. There are
He's got
already a full bunker.
home.
Yeah, this is a great situation.
This is fantastic, and he avoided the exact situation I was talking about, which is when you delve too greedily, too deeply, and you end up reaching into the cookie jar just a little bit too far. Now he's on a natural command center. It's done. This Overlord is a problem for him because now the corrosive biles, he doesn't have any gas. He's going to need to be repairing this for a very long time.
Look at this.
Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. SpeCial, you big-brained man.
This is just... SpeCial plays enough mech that he understands that his barracks can lift and can go scout things. You knew this is what he was gonna do. He has 7 Marines. He has 2 bunkers. There's no world where DRG realistically breaks this. So now, DRG double expanding, right? He's taking his natural third at the same time. He does have, again, proving the SpeCial knows that you can scout with your barracks. He does have the barracks in the main. But at this point, I mean, the world is SpeCial's oyster. This has been a one-base Zerg. He went double gas. He built 5 Ravagers, 4 or 5 Ravagers.
This is greedy.
He's going to get an Overlord as well. One Marine's going to fall, but you can run right back to the bunker. It's still super valuable. And DRG supply blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah. Wow. Sorry, go on. I'm just like, you know, emoting. Like, I didn't expect that to supply block him.
The question now is like, what the hell do you do if you're DRG? You're so far. Okay, the supply's still one story, but it's supplies of Ravagers. That doesn't really matter. What the hell do you do here if you're DRG?
That's a really good question. It's a super uncomfortable position. And I talked about the first barracks flying home. I thought that was an insurance policy against the, against like some kind of weird, you know, counterattack, the Ravagers just running at you. What I didn't think about is what it just achieved with being able to dislodge that Overlord. SpeCial, such a smart player though. He's always thinking about, okay, how can things go wrong for me? So let me cover that. Let me check that avenue. And he's just in such a great position. He's ahead on workers for the moment. Literally just now, DRG passes him as SpeCial is landing his 3rd command center. I just want to put it in context how far ahead economically SpeCial is. It's a big lead. And to answer your question about what can DRG do, I mean, this is maybe the best move. Get super greedy with the 1-1, but he's supply blocked again at 66 of 66, and he was sitting on a lot of larva during all this.
Yeah, it's looking rough. Now, I guess the other interesting thing that we see SpeCial going for, he seems to like mech. You know, mech seems to be good at this matchup, but first of all, it's Dragon Scales. It's not the best mech map for it, even if Hero Marine did win, but also mech takes a while to build up. So instead, he's going to go for something that allows him to be aggressive ASAP, but even still, man, she's on the way. You can take the mech out of SpeCial, but you can't take SpeCial out of the mech. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I got it. It's fine. This is a nice little additional insurance policy from SpeCial. He did see, you know, that there wasn't anything too crazy going on. His floating barracks saw that there was a good worker count, but he didn't get to see for sure that there wasn't like a big roachling attack coming on forward. So it's just a nice way to, you know, really make sure for not too much cost that he's going to be fine going into the mid game. Now, DRG, he does have the advantage on Dragon Scales that this 3rd base is so wide open. We've talked about it all weekend. We've seen Zerg players really taking advantage of that. DRG, by the way, will confirm that his bio. If he wasn't sure, he knows for sure now. And I think he probably had a good idea since he was going for this 1-1. Oh man, DRG supply blocked again at 97. He does have Overlords, or sorry, 98. He does have Overlords on the way. So it's not going to be a brutal block, not like some of the others, but I mean, it's very clear that he's been significantly discombobulated in this game.
Yeah, not only that, he is losing so many of his supply structures. A couple overlords have gone down right around the point where, you know, he doesn't want that to happen when he wants to pump a bunch of units. So it is a little bit awkward. And SpeCial for now, he's got double medevac on the left side, pushing forward.
Move command.
But yeah, okay, so he's going to be able to pick these up, but still, Marines go down. That's a good start for DRG. Certainly, I mean, if we use that as a metric to how to get back in this game, it is... he needs to do that like 50 times. But it does force DRG or SpeCial away from DRG's side of the map, and that buys time for maybe some bailing speed, for bailings to morph, for the, well, we're not going to see more Ravagers, for more creeps to spread, for DRG to put Lings on the map to counterattack into SpeCial's third, and we're starting to see why this map is actually just so good for Zerg. You can't stop the counterattacks.
Yeah, especially not if you shoot your own SCVs there with the siege tank. We are going to see these Marines getting on in here. Is there actually enough for DRG to hold? Nice target fire on a couple of those Banelings there. They don't have speed just yet. And SpeCial, he just keeps kiting. He'll be able to take down these Banelings. 2-2 is still a very far ways away for the Zerg. Oh, nice target fire right there from SpeCial. Grabs two of the Banelings. The Banelings are really the only thing keeping DRG alive at this very moment. And if SpeCial can get all of them, do we have more Banelings on the way? We got two more about to pop. But DRG is, or pardon me, SpeCial is doing a great job. However, it seems, oh man, the stims, they are really starting to take a toll. And actually, it looks like he stimmed everything to get across the map. Another huge stim out of SpeCial, but Bane speed is still not done. These Marines, oh, now they finally get reinforced by this one siege tank. And this is looking like SpeCial might just do it right here, right now.
A couple more Banelings are going to morph here steadfast. That's what DRG needs. And the supplies aren't even all that bad. Tank shot comes in, I think, maybe from the high ground. And yeah, okay, Marines keep running out. Oh, that's a great tank position right there. DRG has to deal with it. It's so hard for him to take the engage. Natlings get on top of it, but he's got to stay away. Marines are going to arrive on the counter, but no, the tank does fall down. There's one tank here. And the Banelings get a great connection on the right side as well. So DRG, he seems to be holding on. And remember, he got like, oh, great hot save there on the tank, but even still, it's not sieged up anymore. DRG breaks the back of this push of SpeCial, and he lost, what is that, 15 workers on the other side? He's up 2 upgrades as well. Hive's on the way. DRG kind of seems to have stabilized in this game.
Yeah, he did. That one Baneling got like, it wasn't in, like it didn't connect on the Marines, but it died in range of the Marines. And I think it was the siege tank that actually killed them. They got like 6 of them. Now we see a nice concave of Queens and Ravagers on these tanks. Meanwhile, the 2-2 Ling Bane getting in on top of this bio. And you said it, the momentum has been broken for this push. The back has been broken on this push. It was so close to SpeCial snowballing the game right then and there, but now he has to back off. He needs to chill, and he needs to redraw his battle plans because he is not going to win this game right now. He, at the very least, needs to wait for his 2-2. The thing is, by the time that 2-2 is complete, we're going to see Hive done for DRG. He can start up his 3-3. He can get up into Adrenal Glands. DRG is still not in a great spot economically, though. SpeCial is on 74 SCVs. I still think I like SpeCial's position, but considering he was a hair away from winning the game, it's not as nice as you'd like to see.
So fast, if you look at resources last year, it's actually not all that bad. It's 800 in favor of SpeCial. So yeah, from that perspective, it's like, yes, okay, so DRG has, his economy's not maybe where it wants to be, but it's not like he's out trading massive Bailey connections as well, so SpeCial is going to have to back up with those 4 medevacs. At this point, maybe the drop of the main base is going to find something, because DRG has just been playing lockdown defense. He's going to take more than some queens, though, as SpeCial tries to get the spawning pool, knock down that adrenaline. It's not going to happen. That is a very low medevac. You got to get away from that.
And that is the low H, or fully loaded medevac, lowest HP. DRG, if he puts a queen, like 1 queen on each corner of the base and is paying attention, he might be able to just knock that out of the sky and kill 10 supply. As it is, this is what, 15 supply that's just captive in the top left. SpeCial, like we've been saying, his economy is still good, and there's no 3-3 yet for DRG. He did add on a few more drones during a brief lull, which is of course a great decision. But he does need to still find some more. It looks like the drop actually did make its way into the low ground at the natural, but SpeCial takes the fight on peak. Huge Widow Mine. Crouching Tiger, hidden Widow Mine, getting 7 Baneling kills right there. And oh, well, it looks like this Spore Crawler with 2 kills. It killed both medevacs. Oh, that is an MVP Spore Crawler. Still, SpeCial starting to find some momentum on the left side again.
Man, Steadfast, DRG did such a great job of dealing with almost all the Widow Mines, but is it that last one that got like 5 or 6 Banelings going down? Widow Mines are going to go off once again. DRG running into a bit of a struggle here, but he's still going to try to run forward. It's not a good decision, and SpeCial, again, develops his production. Adrenal is not done until right now. Vipers don't have their energy. Widow Mines, again, they're going to try to go off. He kills his own Ravager with a Bile, and he's just not handling these Widow Mines well whatsoever. Yes, more Banelings are going to get made, but Steadfast, there's no detection. There is nothing that prevents these Widow Mines from just sitting here and finding value after value after value. Marauders are joining the army now, and we've been praising DRG's defense.
Nice on Burrow.
How he's been able to make things happen. It's starting to seriously snowball in the manner of SpeCial here.
That it is. This is getting really tough right here. We do have this Widow Mine, goes for the Mind Drag, almost gets it, but not so much. Another one just narrowly avoiding the Mind Drag is SpeCial. We do see some Parasitic Bombs taking down all the medevacs here, and that actually might be enough for DRG to maybe get out enough and hold this. But these Widow Mines, they're so difficult to see on creep. You need that detection in order to be able to take those out, and a minefield is so bad. Really nice splits from DRG against these mines, but that's a big mine right there. Liberators do show up, and there's only one Ravager left over. Oh, these mines. Oh, he's retargeting it. Retargets on the Queen. I think I would have preferred to see the Banelings getting killed, but it's going to be fine regardless. He gets the Spore before it can provide that detection. Overseer's finally showing up 16 years late. Oh, wow, another nice Mind Drag, but another big Widow Mine behind it. This game is so
Vipers?
razor's edge.
Oh, Widow Mine on the
one
backside.
Viper does die.
Yeah, well, Liberators and Mines kill a Viper. That should never happen. And look at the supply now, Steadfast. It's 30 army supply up. DRG's economy's fine, but the resources lost here is starting to get really bad. And let me tell you a story. It's 3-3 bio, 2-2 Ling Bane. That is a story as old as time. It is the inflection point, and it is starting to really work out well here for SpeCial. Even with the Adrenal, this base is going to get broken, and 81 drones, who cares? Because DRG does not have the base to mine out of it once again. Widow Mines are, they're going to kill Broodlings. That doesn't do much for you. But it seems like we talked about DRG breaking the back of SpeCial's push. DRG, well, he suplexes himself and his back gets broken on the backside. This is a SpeCial that is looking like he's going to drag us to game 3.
It is certainly looking that way. He has himself a great parade push going. Finally kills this left side base. DRG, though, he gets in on top of this exposed third base once again. And that's a lot of SCVs getting picked off. Still, DRG needs a hell of a lot more, and he needs to buy time. He needs to find money for that 3-3. Great split against the Widow Mines on the left side, but with Marauders tanking in the front, with, as you said, that huge 3-3 versus 2-2 advantage, it is just so difficult for Ling Bane to go up against this setup. We do see a nice Parasitic Bomb on those medevacs. That's actually going to be one of the medevacs dying with some units inside. This will be a good cleanup here for DRG in the main base. Still... Oh, there was a Liberator on the right side. Looks like it found 4 drones, forced a bunch of lost mining time. It's such a huge supply advantage. Now, DRG has done a good job of spreading creep on the right side, but it's just been so much chaos during this game that he hasn't been able to really take advantage of it, and now SpeCial will clear up a ton of this creep, and this is really feeling like the noose is tightening. This DRG must hold this base.
Yeah, it's a 5-base Zerg versus a 5-base Terran, as the Biles are going to... Oh, no, the Widow Mines again! It feels like if you're a Zerg player and you're in a position like this is nice run by from DRG, but if you just start eating Widow Mine shots like that, it's almost a mental thing. It feels like you can't stop. Another base is going to go down. Bailey's trying to show, hey, they get Marines in the corner. That's not bad. But it's now a 4-hatch Zerg against a 5-base Terran. And as good as this cleanup might be for DRG, as good as the counterattack, knocking down the reinforcements, it doesn't really matter. He does not have the money, or he's got a decent bank, but he will not have the money to sustain this. And that's the really big problem.
Yeah, big problem. By the way, SpeCial finally realizing he does not have that concussive shells upgrade in the late game. Something that is actually super handy against Ling Bane, and specifically Banelings, when you're going for a heavy Marine Marauder mine composition. Being able to slow down those Banelings, and even sometimes slowing down the lead Zerglings that might be going for mine drags, that's actually really handy. And we've seen DRG has gotten some pretty clutch mine drags. Anything that makes the engagements more complicated is obviously a good thing for the Terran player. Well, makes more engagements more complicated for the Zerg is a good thing for the Terran. We're going to see these Widow Mines. Oh, they burrow. Oh, Oh, he did not have detection. He fortunately manually detonated those banelings, but that was so close to being like another massive Widowmine shot.
Well, it is hard here for the Terran to find his way on the high ground. We're going to see parasitic bombs. Oh, these medevacts are so low, they're going to hot pick up.
Oh.
And SpeCial's not splitting. SpeCial, you got to split here on the right side. At least the medevacts are somewhat alive. No, it's got so many units. It's, oh.
6 HP just before. Still, it's DRG down 50 supply. And while SpeCial is not able to close this game out yet, he's still been taking trades that have been good enough to keep the momentum up, and he's slowly but surely shutting down the creep all over the map. Now, we're going to see a lot of Banes connecting on creep. Once again, this has been a problem in this game. SpeCial has taken a lot of engagements so deep on creep after he's cleared the creep spread out. As well, a lot of reinforcements have been kind of caught on move commands. He's doing a great job in this game, but the fact that he hasn't closed out is a really nice testament to the tenacity that DRG is showing. But some good spreads back here from SpeCial are going to be able to draw the army back in, and he will be able to get he'll be able to get these Ravagers that have been a big nuisance. Does walk into a corrosive pile, but Widowmine's getting another Viper on the retreat.
And another one goes down from the Stim Marines. It's crazy. I'm looking at that fight. It's like, okay, supplies tells me one story. You know, 100 army supplied at 50. That fight kind of told another. That was far more than DRG hit any right to get, but he did overextend a little bit. I think he was trying to chase SpeCial to the point where he could bring his Vipers forward and punish all those medevacs and maybe make something happen with that, but you know, you run a little bit too far, and then the retreating minefield was just far too much of a problem. These Lings, they might run into something too. Bailey's, they have to run past the Marauders, and those Marauders are over stimmed, so it's actually a fairly decent connection even still. That being said, you're out of Bailey's here, DRG, and that's kind of a problem. But the base is still alive, and the Baileys are going to get done in just a second. Vipers have energy once again. Somehow DRG is still kind of making this hold happen. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be happening, and at the end of the day, it should push through. But the fact that I am questioning whether SpeCial is going to break a base when DRG is down 80 supply is kind of bonkers.
Where is SpeCial supply? Like, there's a lot of it coming across the map. He's got 15 mines just strewn about the map. So that's like 34 supply that was just all over the map. Ultimately, he does get the win there, finally grinds it out. But yeah, like a big tip of the hat right there to DRG for holding on when, let's be real, he was dead from like, what, minute 10? Maybe even minute 8, it felt like. Like, he was so dead for so long, and he made a great showing. Yeah, you could argue he was dead after he didn't get anything done with the counterattack of Roach Ravager.
I'm not going to argue it. I'm going to say it. Like, he was. You double gas, you build 5 Ravagers, you let your natural die, you get nothing? Your opponent already is a command center command center mining. Yeah, you're dead. I mean, okay, the game still has to end, but you are in a game losing situation. 99 out of 100 games. It's not even going to be close. And that's you talked about this earlier, Steadfast. That's one of those games where you win it and you look back, you're like, I don't feel good. that's not a feel good victory there.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Because DRG did fight his way back there, but SpeCial never actually lost control of the game really at any point. There was one situation where the game evened out for a little while, and we actually saw DRG had the upgrade lead, but even then, all it did was buy him a little bit of time to get back to an economic position where he could go toe-to-toe, and by the time he got those extra drones out, SpeCial had caught up in the 2-2, he had his 3-3, he was able to push over to that left side base and started getting some really great trades with the mines. I mean, I'm looking at this group, and if DRG, or well, if SpeCial can beat DRG, can convert this to a win, he's going up against another Korean Zerg in the form of Solar. SpeCial's got an out in this group. He can advance potentially.
Steadfast, I admire your copium. I really, or your opinions. But let's be real here, okay? You talk about that game as if, well, even when DRG equalized, no. DRG was on 80 workers. His army was supply was in a good spot. He had better upgrades. The problem, he just didn't have detection. Like, you look at that, and if we're looking at a Rainer in a similar position in the mid game, he's dodging those mines. He has the detection that he needs, and it's not a question. He comes back in that game, he probably wins it. That was not a question of DRG not even equalizing. It's a question of DRG losing thousands of resources to Widowmines that he shouldn't lose. So I appreciate what you're saying, but it's the Widow Mines. Or the shots. But folks, we're going to get into game 3 now. It's going to be Griffon. It's a big map. Let's see what SpeCial has in store. And the bottom right, folks, in the red. He took game 1, and oh man, he held on a long time in the second one. DRG.
And his opponent spawning up at the top left for Storm Gaming. It is SpeCial. Now, okay, I want to talk about series prep right now because we've got. So it will come down to if SpeCial can win this game, because if he can't win this game, it's going to be really tough. We do have a gas pool, by the way, out of DRG, which is going to be, if he commits to like a decent number of lings, it could be a speedling play. I think it's just defensive against the potential of a proxy 2 racks, and I'm pretty sure that's how he's playing that. Yeah, he's already pulled off gas. Could still be a commitment to like maybe 12 speedlings or something. Regardless, he is going to see this fast factory play again. I wonder what we're going to see from this, but it feels like with the Zerg going a little less economic, the Terran going a little less economic, both of them focusing more on early tech and early units, just a little bit more than usual. I think this is an advantage for SpeCial, just a little bit, but this is going to be weird. I'm not sure really how this plays out. For now, though, I kind of want to talk about what this could lead to in the next series. If he plays against Solar and Solar kind of looks at this, I wonder if SpeCial is going to have something that looks very similar to this and is like a complete mix-up that he can throw against Solar.
But the question is, how much does that matter, Steadfast? Yes, if you're SpeCial here, you need to win this game and you need to beat Solar. But you need to win this game.
Yes.
If you don't win this game, it doesn't matter what happens to Solar, right? So, SCV, Hellion should get the shot. There we go. SCV stays alive, ring around the rosy. But yeah, you need to win this game. So as much as you want to talk about series planning, everything else, what matters at the end, like, no, you're throwing your best build out here. You got one build that's, you got to win the game. You go for it. But we should talk about, by the way, on Griffon here on the left side, SpeCial did go for the low ground buildings, but unfortunately, that means his reactor, his tech lab are going to be exposed. And that is something that committed ling pressure, roach pressure, something like that. By the way, DRG heavily supply blocked at 36, building 3 overlords at a time. That is something that we would think DRG might be able to punish, but for now, 3 Reapers into the main.
Yeah, and this will be enough to 2-shot drones right here. We see that he misses one of the shots, but he will still get the kill on 2 of those drones. That was actually an unfortunate situation right there for SpeCial, because he kind of missed an opportunity. He actually could have potentially gotten like 4 drones if he hadn't, wasted a couple of shots on the spawning pool. If he hadn't missed that 1 half shot, because it meant that he... So the way Reapers work is they fire 2 shots with their pistols, and there's actually like a microsecond delay between the shots. So if you micro back a little too early, you can actually cancel your own shots. But still, nice little find. Gets a couple of workers. DRG though. Oh, no drones at this third, so he's kind of fine. Oh, nice grenades. Is this a real... Did he... Oh, no, he went for the Raven. Yeah, this is a fake cloak. Okay. This is neat.
I swear we've seen more fake cloaks in this, in Katowice than I've seen in years. Like, you used to see fake cloaks all the time. Oh, let me fake it out, whatever. And then it just stopped happening because no one would... Cloak is worth it for... In Legacy of the Void economy, it's always worth it to get Cloak. It's not that expensive. And no one opens anything other than Banshees off a tech log on the start board, right? He is letting this complete, or at least he's letting this last a good long time.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense because he's not only going 2 Ravens, he's going 3 Ravens. This is a very confusing play, and I really hope he cancels that soon because it's cheap, but you don't want to get it for nothing. 100-100 in the early game it's still a lot of resources to just throw away for nothing. Okay, well, it's good.
Telling you, three Raven into Hyperflight Rotor Banshee. You get Cloak first because it's worth it.
I would be on board. Why not?
I mean,
I actually think Hyperflight Rotors is super sick.
It sounds like I'm memeing, but that is absolutely the type of build that special would throw out at us, especially in an elimination game.
And you know what? You might say to yourself, Beowulf, you're crazy. That's wrong. Well, you're wrong actually if you're saying that, because Special literally went proxy BC into 3-port BC. Oh, those grenades kind of working against him a little bit here. He will manage to avoid the surround. Well, actually, that ends up going kind of fine for Special. He's going bio though. And yeah, no, that was just a mistake. He just got the cloak. He just let it finish. That's really unfortunate. And he does have 3 Ravens though, setting up for auto turret harass. This is actually such a nuisance to deal with. I really like this play here. Ooh, nice job from DRG though. He's got these Lings in position, but having to deal with auto turrets dropping at like 2 or 3 bases at once is really annoying. I'd actually like to see the... Oh, we are going to see how many drones go down. Oh, the Hellions pairing in with this.
That's actually massive here. How many are they going to get? 6 workers go down. Great actually response here coming in from DRG. Yes, he loses 8 workers, but it felt like that could have been so much more as now Raven comes in from the left side. No Lings in the main base, though. Drones are going to get pulled in time, and it's going to be another dead worker. This is, again, significant economic damage coming in from SpeCial. And I kind of like the situation he's in. Like, yes, getting cloak isn't great. It's expensive if you're not going to do anything with it. But it feels like DRG is playing this as if he thinks SpeCial is meching it. I mean, fair, he got 3 Ravens. We have 1-1 ranged on the way. We have a very quick infestation pit. But it's bio from SpeCial. It feels like the timing he's going to hit with like 150 supply is going to hit like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, it feels like it could be particularly strong, especially with the 1-1 upgrades. Ooh. DRG. Okay, he gets on top of this pretty quickly. Only loses 1 drone and a Zergling there. Raven does show up with the main push. He's going to be able to deny a tiny bit of creep. Oh, SpeCial got to be a little bit careful. He sees the roaches now, and that should cause him to go for maybe a quick second factory here. Oh, his armory is a little bit late. Actually, that's actually very late, and that's going to nullify a lot of his upgrade timing advantage that he's gotten for himself. The chip damage coming in from SpeCial is really nice though with these Ravens. Like, setting them up between the bases is such a great play. It's really strong. However, the hive already halfway done. Did we see infestors? Yeah, we did. We saw 2 infestors being added on here. This could be very scary for SpeCial if he's not prepared.
I mean, he's got 2 Ravens. He can just shut them down, right? That's what those are for, clearly. But the push comes out here. Files are, well, SpeCial's actually just going to stim right on through it. He's got vision. Auto turrets on the right side trying to snipe something. The Fungals, well, they're not going to go down just yet. Auto turrets don't get anything. In fact, both Ravens, one gets very low and one goes down. So, fun idea there from SpeCial. He's going to have to back up. This didn't work.
No, I don't want to be too critical of anyone, especially SpeCial, who I'm a big fan of. I don't understand what those auto turrets were about. I don't think they had any potential to really add any value to the fight. Whereas I do think, unironically, that the interference matrices on those infestors could have been much more high value. Instead, he kind of loses a Raven for free. Now, this is a nice Doom drop into the main base. There's not a lot here. A lot of Queens, but the Spore is not well positioned. Queen's going to get gunned down. Great move from SpeCial moving into the main base here. He is going to find all 4 Queens, and we'll get some pretty solid trades against these Lings and Roaches. And as long as he gets out of here as the overwhelming force shows up, he's going to find himself in a nice position. No, don't lose the medevac. He's focused on the front line. Will actually kill off the 4th base here. And there's a lot of siege tanks. Ooh, but the fungal growths.
Oh, that was
still. This is so good for SpeCial.
That was a great dodge on the second fungal. Just nothing came of it. Roach's Ravagers trying to get on the tank, but there's a line of tanks here. So DRG is actually, he's just not about to. He is going to lose that 3rd base. It's going to go down. And now it is a 3-base Zerg versus a 3-base Terran. SpeCial adding on, well, he has the 4th command center, adding on those 3 additional barracks afterwards. 2-2 halfway done. But this might just be the death push here. SpeCial sitting up 40 supply against a Roach Ravager player. The Infestors get nothing done. They run by, and SpeCial keeps his hopes alive. DRG may have killed